Jeep has just dropped a bombshell on the auto industry, unveiling a groundbreaking compressed air engine that's making everyone in the EV world sweat. Their bold claims: this tech could potentially outshine the entire electric vehicle market. Picture this: a combustion engine with zero emissions. Sounds like sci-fi, right? So is this the beginning of the end for EVs or just some slick marketing? Buckle up, because in this video we're diving deep into Jeep's ambitious promises, the science behind compressed air power, and whether this could truly revolutionize the auto industry. Here's the wild part: Jeep's CEO is spearheading a project that boasts an engine with a jaw-dropping fuel efficiency of 120 miles per gallon, slashing current tailpipe emissions by an astonishing 99%. This could mean guilt-free driving with none of the usual pollution. Jeep's been on a serious innovation spree, combining these advanced engines with a brand new transmission to deliver an impressive 55 miles per gallon. They've also been on an eco-friendly mission, cutting their CO2 emissions by a staggering 95% compared to traditional internal combustion engines. This journey began in 2014 with Stellantis-Jeep 308, a pioneering company driving this revolutionary system forward. But what's the real game changer here? Jeep's innovations include reducing internal friction, incorporating lock-up clutch converters to eliminate slippage, resulting in significantly lower CO2 emissions. The numbers are nothing short of spectacular. Thanks to a sophisticated mix of selective catalytic reduction and a particulate filter enhanced with additives, they've achieved a 90% reduction in emissions and nearly wiped out particulate pollution. Let's break it down in simpler terms. You've heard of hybrid cars like the Toyota Prius, right? Now, imagine ditching those heavy batteries and replacing them with compressed air. That's the magic Jeep is working on. Instead of using gasoline or diesel, a compressed air engine harnesses the power of pressurized air. Here's how it works: a massive air pump compresses air into a tank on the vehicle, much like inflating a tire, but at much higher pressures, hundreds of times higher, in fact. This compressed air acts as the engine's fuel. When you hit the accelerator, the air is released into a special chamber in the engine, expanding rapidly and pushing a piston down in a cylinder, similar to a gasoline engine. This piston movement powers the wheels, propelling the car forward. When the air tank runs low, you simply refill it with compressed air, much like refueling a traditional car. So is Jeep's new engine the death knell for electric vehicles, or is it just another clever marketing stunt? Stick around as we dissect this bold innovation and its potential impact on the future of transportation. This hybrid air system is smart, like really smart. It offers 3 modes: gas only, air only, and a combined mode. And get this, an electronic management system does all the heavy lifting, autonomously switching between modes based on your driving needs. Cruising down the highway? No problem. The system sticks to the internal combustion engine. But once you hit those city streets and your speed drops below 45 mph, it seamlessly switches to air power. And let's not forget the benefits, especially for city driving. We're talking reduced emissions, smoother rides, and a greener footprint, all thanks to this innovative hybrid air technology from Jeep. Now, the thing to be excited about is that in city conditions, these hybrid air-powered vehicles can cruise on air power alone for a mind-blowing 60 to 80% of the time. And here's the cherry on top: PSA, the brains behind the prototype, is currently putting it through the paces. They set their sights on a combined fuel efficiency of 120 miles per gallon. Now that's what I call aiming for the stars. Now let's talk about the most important thing: cost. But fear not, because Stellantis and Jeep CEO Carlos Tavares are already ahead of the curve by kicking pricey battery packs to the curb, typically found in traditional hybrid vehicles. The hybrid air system isn't just more budget-friendly, it's also simpler to install and maintain. It also offers flexibility in passenger compartment design without sacrificing precious trunk space. Win-win, right? But you might be scratching your head, wondering why the Jeep CEO isn't jumping on the EV bandwagon. Well, Carlos Tavares isn't one to mince words. As the head honcho of Stellantis, overseeing a conglomerate of 12 automotive giants, including Jeep, Ram, Chrysler, and Dodge, he has a thing or two to say about the EV revolution. In fact, Tavares has thrown a wrench into the EV story, calling its very foundations into question. Stellantis gave a bad outlook on the future of electric vehicles (EVs) at the first Freedom of Mobility Forum he held. What's the deal? It seems like the once-held savior of our dear planet is now under intense scrutiny, and Tavares isn't holding back. Now let's entertain a hypothetical scenario. We ditch our trusty combustion cars and dive headfirst into EVs. But what about the elephant in the room? Rare earth metals. We'd be depleting these precious resources to manufacture batteries, which, you guessed it, causes emissions. Companies should be upset that gasoline-powered cars are being outlawed while expensive electric cars with short ranges and lots of fancy tech features are being sent out. And it's not just words. Germany, for example, voted against banning combustion cars to clarify its point. Car companies like BMW and Porsche agree with this and are working hard on their own renewable fuels. The push for electric vehicles is also bad for the economy. Electric vehicles (EVs) already cost 40% more than cars with internal combustion engines. If combustion engines are banned, prices could go through the roof even more. Take a look at the Ford F-150 Lightning, which costs more than $100,000. I won't touch on how ridiculously expensive new EVs are, but making EVs is pricey. But we can't just charge people that much and expect them to pay. At this point, it's not easy, especially since rules seem to say that electric vehicles are the only way out. Don't be afraid though, because there's hope on the horizon. You don't have to jump into the EV abyss. Another option could produce some amazing results. Tavares, for one, is singing a different tune. He has devised a plan that could cut carbon dioxide pollution by a huge 50% very quickly. Wow, that really will change things. According to experts, trading in cars 15 years or older for modern equivalents like the brand new compressed air engine is the way forward. Other automotive giants such as General Motors, Ford, Hyundai, and Rivian are already grappling with the mounting cost of battery materials. The introduction of new EV tax credit incentives offering discounts on domestically made cars has only added to the situation's complexity. It seems like the automotive industry is standing on shaky ground with policies that could potentially be more divisive than inclusive. It's worth noting that Jeep itself hasn't been immune to these shifting market dynamics. First, they had to hop on the EV bandwagon, and now they're contending with a steady decline in sales and a tarnished brand image. Take the Jeep Wrangler, for instance. In 2015, you could snag one for around $35,000 to $38,000. Fast forward to 2023, and its price tag has skyrocketed to $52,000. Jeep is also currently struggling to establish itself as a premium label. The Jeep brand has suffered a hit due to the strategy change and problems with quality control. Stellantis, Ford, and GM are among the other automakers experiencing the heat, not just Jeep. Some even turn to their internal combustion businesses to make ends meet while selling their electric vehicles at a loss. Consider Volkswagen, which, to maintain a foothold in the Chinese market, lowered the cost of its ID.3 model on repeated occasions. The luxury items now considered standard in EVs only worsen matters. What I mean is that BMW has subscription-based heated seats and automated parking. In light of everything that transpired, it is easy to envision a future where individuals must pay a monthly fee to use their own vehicles. Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares has become increasingly vocal about the potential exclusion of middle-class consumers from the electric vehicle market due to rising production costs that manufacturers may be unable to afford. What happens when subsidies are reduced if that is the only thing preventing the price of EVs from rising? Stellantis is in a knot, despite having a more passive approach to electric vehicles EVs than its Detroit rivals. A gasoline-powered range extender is even anticipated for their most luxurious electric truck, the Ram 1500 REV. It's obvious that Tavares has reservations about electrification, so what do you feel?